In a challenging economic environment, you've delivered year-on-year sales growth. What's been the key to that?
I think the key has been our focus on the customer. The customer has gone through a lot of changes over the last 2 years, and we've had to be there with them. If they've wanted to change brands to a lower price brand, we've gone with them. If they want to stay with the same brand but maybe spend less at a lower pack size, we've been there with them. If they've wanted to change categories from a higher price category to a lower price category, we've gone with them. So I think the key has been our focus on the customer. Generally, we've done a lot of things over the last 2 years to try to really go with our consumers as they live through this economic crisis.
So how does Walmart differentiate itself to customers in Mexico and Central America?
I think the difference is, first of all, a couple of things that we do across the world. Our everyday low prices and our focus on giving more value to the customers. The second is the service of our associates in the stores. We have the best store associates in the world, and the service we give is better than anybody else in the industry. And maybe the third is our multi-format strategy. Maybe this is a little different than other parts of the Walmart world. We have, in just Mexico, 6 different retail formats. That allows us to segment the market a little bit better and make sure that we're giving each customer segment what they're really looking for in a retailer. So that gives us, I think, a chance to penetrate the markets much more than we could if we only had 1 or 2 formats.
You now have more than 2,000 stores and restaurants in Mexico and Central America. What have been the challenges and opportunities of integrating these territories?
Well, let me start with the opportunities. Speaking of opportunities, we have very similar customers across the region. That makes it easy to make sure you're giving value to those different customer segments. The other thing we have in common is really a common culture. There's a focus on taking care of customers. There's a focus on taking care of our store associates. There's a focus on business results that's common across those 6 countries. So that's made it easy to start with. The other opportunity we have is really to take best practices from Mexico and take those down to Central America, and then vice versa. Take those best practices we can take from Central America and bring them back to Mexico. For example, there are a lot of learnings on small formats in Central America that we're bringing to Mexico, and they're helping us improve the quality of our small format business here. So there are a lot of common factors that let us start from a base that makes it a lot easier to do this integration.
Of course, effective financial management is key to any business on this scale. What's your take on that?
We have a very strong balance sheet. We have, as of today, about $1.1 billion, of the equivalent of $1.1 billion in cash. But what it makes that very interesting is that cash comes from operations. It's a cash that is generated internally. It's not a cash that came from selling a division or an asset. It's a cash that came from operation, from a daily operation. We have negative working capital requirements, and that gives us the ability to generate cash very profitable. We are a company that is public. About 30% of the stock is traded on the Mexican Stock Exchange. We are a company that takes care about its minority shareholders. We have a very clear dividend policy. We have a very clear repurchase share policy, and that allows us to have a very strong balance sheet over a very long period of time.
Now, social responsibility is increasingly attractive for investors, and you've done some pioneering work with the Walmart Mexico Foundation. Indeed, you've received a major award from the United Nations.
That's correct. Social responsibility is something that's been important for us for a long time. Recently, we were recognized by the United Nations Development Program for a program that we have with indigenous communities in Mexico. And what we do there is we give them financing, we give them technical assistance, and we give them access to our stores so they can actually sell indigenous products in our Walmart stores here in Mexico. It's been a great program. There are a lot of other things we do with our Walmart Foundation as well. And generally, social responsibility, sustainability in particular, are areas of focus for our company.
So where does Walmart Mexico and Central America go from here? What does the future look like?
Oh, it's a future of continuous growth. We are in Mexico, and we're in 5 countries in Central America. Each of the countries that we're in represent growth opportunity. As of today, we have presence in about 350 cities. There are 300 additional cities where we don't have presence yet. This means that you can have from one hand 350 existing, and from the other the 300 additional ones. You can grow in all of them. So that gives you a growth opportunity for the future. The interesting part about a multi-format retailer is that you are profitable since day one. Since the day you open the store, you are profitable because of being multi-format.